All right, everyone, welcome to a brand new edition of the Swift Kicks podcast. I'm Alex. After what seems like a long 2 weeks of an international break, the Premier League's back, Champions League's back, everything is back, all good, running well. Ben, got to talk to you first, though. Let's kick it off with the Premier League. Quick wrap up. We had Manchester United coming back, winning 3-2 against Newcastle. What'd you make of that?
It's probably the greatest victory of all time. I think parades in the street of Manchester after that victory. Um, if it was anyone but Newcastle, I'd be a little more thrilled and a little less sarcastic.
Yeah.
It's a bit of it's like the most disappointing 3-2 win ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man United's Instagram is showing all of the fans going crazy. And don't get me wrong, it's probably electric to be there, but a 3-2 win over a Newcastle in their present form isn't something to be,
Yeah.
going too crazy about.
What are you talking about? We got 2 points. We're doing
Congrats.
great. We're doing great.
You count them on both hands.
Yes. Well, what'd you make of? We got Jose Mourinho. Apparently, he's in a little bit of trouble for some things he said in the tunnel. But I wanted to talk about more about his post game interview, where he kind of made everything seem like it was. He should have turned it into more of a positive thing. You know, it's like my team finally came together and they played really well to come back and score 3 goals that they needed. But instead, it was like, if it rains in London, it's my fault. If there's problems with Brexit, it's my fault. Like, he just turns everything into this big negative pile of blah, like, and throws it towards people. So, and now he's apparently getting fined for some other rude comments he made in the tunnel as well.
Yeah, he definitely is the root cause of Brexit. I'd heard that as well.
Yeah,
But no, I think he's lost the plot, man. I think he is feeling immense pressure.
yeah,
Like, how can you fire him after that win? Like, I kind of wish, like, when Newcastle went up 2-0, I was like, all right, we're going to rip this Band-Aid off.
yeah,
Done and over with. And then they pull it out, and it's like, oh, no. I saw Mourinho at halftime. He was running into the locker room, like, running.
yeah,
And part of that is probably because he didn't want to put up with the abuse he was getting from the fans.
yeah,
Like, they're like, oh, Mourinho's still in the game. No, he is getting off that field as fast as possible because you can't hear the words coming at him from right behind that bench.
right,
I do think there's something to be said for, you know, winning you're out, losing you're out. Like, that was just a load.
yeah,
We did hear that he'd be let go either way. I am kind of surprised. I think this week is the real test, and it's the same pressure to me. Like, you lose to Chelsea,
yep,
regardless if you're on the road or away, you need points right now real bad. And if it's a poor showing, they're out. I think some of it, though, is down to the players. I think Pogba's a part of the issue. I think players are just saying, all right, man, you're on an island.
yeah,
Because he is such a personality. They're like, okay, let's see about that. We're millionaires. We know what we're doing here. We know our worth. You can have fun with that.
yeah. So I mean, talking about, he probably had some sort of like a must win almost in this Newcastle game, which the players really managed to pull out for him. You come back after this international break. He's got Chelsea on Saturday, but on Wednesday afterwards, he's got Juventus as well. Are you thinking that both of those games are must wins at this point?
Juventus, I don't know, man. You know my thoughts on the Champions League. Like, we have 4 points in the Champions League right now. A
Yeah,
fifth point would be enough, but because it's at home, I'd like to see the 3 points scrape out.
yeah.
I will say this though, like, say United lose to Chelsea on is it Tuesday or Saturday?
Chelsea is on
Sa-
Saturday. Yeah,
yeah, Saturday morning at 7:30.
yeah.
Who's getting up for that?
No.
Right. But so say you lose on this weekend and you let the coach go. Tuesday is right around that corner. You're not even going to have an interim coach by then,
Yeah,
unless you have one lined up.
yeah,
You could see someone coming off the bench to do it. You could have a player coach. You could end up seeing like Michael Carrick taking it as a caretaker for a game or two.
yeah.
Someone like that in the back offices. But you know who's on the market?
Who's that?
You know who's looking?
Who's that?
Arsene Wenger.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, he said he's back and energized. I don't know. We took like one summer off, and the guy can't get away from the game. So interesting.
Arsene Wenger definitely went on a cruise,
Yeah.
played pickleball, and is like, oh, I'm ready to get back into the workforce.
Yeah. No, what's
Someone needs to
happened? What's happened?
put
And his
Grandpa in a
wife has
home
said like, "You got to get out and do something, man. I can't have you home."
to get in a hobby. Right.
Yeah,
He's probably a pain. He's probably
yeah,
like yelling at the dishes, like, "Why are you sitting like this?"
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be great to see him back in some sort of capacity. I mean, he was a good coach no matter what way you look at him. But I think it would be better. We have crossed that year line now from when the U.S. men's national team failed to qualify for the World Cup, and they still don't have any sort of manager. So, just saying, he's out there. He'd be pretty great too. Um,
Yeah.
so
I
that would be interesting.
I just don't know that you want your coach to be that person. Like, I don't think he's got the je ne sais quoi, as they used to say about him anymore.
Yeah,
I don't think he is going to be the person that's changing the league. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, he was changing the game. He had Thierry Henry. I think that's um, a lot of his fame comes from. But
yeah.
I just, I don't see where he would go. If anything, you'd take him to kind of sell some tickets. Maybe you'll end up in Australia with our boy Usain Bolt.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's go back to like 1996 here first. Thierry Henry is back in the game, and he's back at an old club of his. He's back at Monaco now as a coach. What do you make of that?
Living Lodge. I feel like he might be the worst coach of all time. I don't think he would have like an ounce of compassion.
Yeah,
I think he would probably just belittle you until you do what you do he wants.
yeah.
But
It is
I don't know.
interesting. He went from like whatever, like the strikers coach with Belgium over the summer at the World Cup, and then now he's got a full time gig. I like that name. Obviously carries a lot of weight, but I never understand
It,
how easily it translates from being a player to a coach. Just like
it's
that.
who you know. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like it's who you know, and it's I got bills to pay.
yeah,
I'm gonna start this rumor. Thierry Henry is a huge gambler, and he's got nothing left.
yeah,
So he's going. He's going into coaching. I mean, he should follow PK's, system.
yeah,
PK and Ronaldo are some of the savviest, and I'll put Beckham in that conversation too.
yeah,
They're some of the savviest, football players with their finances. PK owns an investment group, which is just random, and I have a feeling he'll end up in jail at some point because
yeah,
of that.
yeah.
Like, there's just no way,
Definitely a
Um,
pyramid scheme going on there.
Right. Cristiano Ronaldo owns like a chain of hotels and some other things too, and David Beckham has his own Victoria's Secret line, pretty much.
Yeah,
But I'm pretty sure it was Calvin Klein. But
yeah.
who's counting?
Who knew?
Uh, but I think players need to be kind of savvy with their money and kind of make smart decisions. And I think you end up seeing some that end up coaching that
Yeah,
probably shouldn't be coaching.
yeah, yeah. I mean, all the best to him. But and I guess Monaco is a great place to start. A lot of young players there, a lot of talent that he could help build. But I'm not sure that diving right into a team that sort of is already in the Champions League and that kind of stuff was the best spot for you to learn and build your game up and everything like that. I mean, you look at the likes of Lampard and Gerrard. Not saying necessarily that they're in the same conversation of talent as Henry, but arguably some great midfielders. One's at Rangers and the other one's at, where is he? He's down in like League One or League Two, Lampard. So
Frankie,
yeah,
our favorite artist,
yeah,
our favorite author.
favorite author. Yeah. So just you'd think he'd get his feet wet somewhere else, but again, all the best to him. Let's go back to the Premier League real quick. Liverpool, Man City bore off of of that last weekend, or what we
I
kind of expected.
I kind of think it was very conservative football from two teams that don't want to give up points.
Yeah.
The shank of the year, we got to talk about that.
Yeah.
Came when Man City had a chance and an opportunity to kind of capitalize, but
Yeah.
it was boring. But to be honest with you, that was kind of one of the better games of soccer. Like,
Yeah.
there was plenty of possession. It was like the first time since 2012 that Man City had gone a half without taking a shot on target,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
So, like, that's a defensive effort on Liverpool. Yes, it wasn't the most attacking football. For starters, you left Sergio Aguero on the bench, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But
Especially
I
come
can't.
time for that penalty at the end.
Yeah, who was it that missed that? It was so long ago
Mahrez.
now.
Yeah.
Dude, first off, he called off Jesus.
Yeah.
To Jesus.
Yeah. He
Calls
called out
up
to
to
Jesus.
He's like, I'm taking this. I got it. Sit down, bro. And the guy's like sitting there, and he like legit looks at his hands. Another player is just like, it's fine, let him have it.
Yeah.
You know, he needs this. His wife's beating him. Whatever the thing's going on. He goes up to take the PK, puts the ball, throws Zed,
Yeah.
and like literally they just pan on everyone one by one. Like they pick Aguero, and Aguero's like, that should have been me. I told them to put me in.
Right.
And like Aguero was not missing that.
No, he would have bet your
That would
house
have been
on
huge too.
that. Yeah, and it would have really like
Yeah.
separated everybody
Like,
up at the top right now. But instead, you've kind of got everybody sitting on 20 points. You got Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, all sitting right there, top three, all just differentiated by goal difference. Sitting in fourth though is Arsenal, and they've won their, albeit in different competitions, but they've won their last 9 games. I know we had talked earlier at the beginning of the season, sort of they were having some troubles with what seemed like the coach, sort of couldn't maybe get his message across or something like that. You think they're back? I mean, they're sitting in fourth, they're doing pretty well.
absolutely. I think you had said it best early on. Arsene Wenger leaving, new coach coming in is enough to kind of be a hard transition anyway.
Yeah.
But there was also the language barrier that you had pointed out that was going on.
Yeah.
And I think I have a feeling that is going away. The communication piece is back. I don't know if they got a translator or, as time goes on, you kind of get a better feel for each other.
Yeah.
But 5-1 against the Fulham is quite a good result.
Yeah.
9 games in a row. I don't think anyone is in that kind of form.
No, I can't think of any other team right now that's, like I said, I mean, some of them were in like the Careless Cup and some other lower competitions, but still it builds a mentality in the team, you know what I mean? And you're walking into this thinking that you can get a win no matter who's on the field, and that's a good place to be in. It's sort of the opposite of where Man United is right now, even though they're sitting down in 10th place right now too. So it's the league is definitely starting to separate itself a little bit, and I'm hoping that Newcastle is still holding out hope that we get a couple more points. We got Brighton up this weekend, and I think I don't know, Rafa has got to be the most secure in a job for any manager sitting on 2 points, but definitely got to get some points against Brighton. I mean, that's a team that's typically in the championship below the Premier League. You expect Newcastle to be getting points there, and if they really want to think of it in a positive way, they beat Man United in the first half 2-0, and they looked really good. And I don't know what happened in the second half. It just Man United completely overpowered them. I think they knew that they needed to get a win, otherwise the club would really go into some turmoil. So it just was kind of saving their own bacon as well. So I don't know. Newcastle, though, got to get these 3 points, because right now, we're sitting, 18th, 19th, and we're looking at another loss. That gap between getting out of the bottom 3 just really starts to widen and open up, and then it becomes almost an impossible task, So, hoping that
I
they
don't
get
know,
the
man.
points.
I think to an extent, you guys have. I mean, obviously, there's some stuff going on, right? Like
Yeah.
we know Newcastle are struggling. I know that you're quick to be like, oh, if Rafa goes, I go, sort of thing. Like you don't want to
Yeah.
see Rafa leave, but I don't know, man. That to lose that game when you're 2-0 up is a coaching error. I don't know that they really did anything, and like I can kind of emphasize and be like, look, you were doing everything right. Why would you change it?
Yeah.
But like, they should have parked the bus, man. Like they should have put
Oh, yeah.
5
As many defenders
back.
as we could on, yeah.
It just got so chippy.
Yeah.
You know what it is, man? There were no red cards.
Yeah.
You had no red cards. There's no one that cared.
Well,
But
there was in the Man United Newcastle game, yeah, there were no red cards. I was going to say over the entire league there was 3 this weekend.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
passion is back.
Yes.
Passionate soccer is back. But you know what else? You know what kills me about you guys?
Huh.
I can't stand John Jacob Shevley.
Yeah, John Joe Shelby.
Yeah, I make up his name every time. Like, is John Fraser Shelby? Like, whatever I feel like saying. He was in a Liverpool documentary a couple years ago and was like, first off, hogging the camera, and I was like, this guy is dog crap.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason you are the star of this show.
Yeah.
And he's one of those players that just literally is in super good shape,
Yeah.
is an okay footballer, and just sprints across the field, covers a ton of ground, but drags everyone out of position because he can't stay in his position.
Yeah.
And it's just not what you need in a club like Newcastle. You need some disciplined players that are going to stay home and do their job.
Yeah. And we're not going to get that until the manager's out. I did see that there's rumors that possibly an American group is looking to spend, I think, like 300 million on the club or something to buy it out from Mike Ashley. But it all sort of hangs on us staying in the Premier League this season. And I've seen other reports around that. So they always float in and out, And so if there's anything to play for, there's that, because that will really inject some new cash, some new life into the club. Right now, it's just kind of floating deadwood a little bit. Moving on to something a little more positive. Let's look at some of the games of the week. I mean, we obviously have Chelsea Man United, like we said, really super early for you in the U.S. Going to be a good game, but might be one of those ones we catch the end of, or at least the highlights. Anything else stand out to you?
No, I do think it's going to be a tough game. I don't think that's going to fare well for Man United.
Yeah.
I think Arsenal-Leicester City should be a good game. If Arsenal are that good, it should be like an exciting 3-1. Leicester City are good enough to get on the scoreboard, maybe even early.
Yeah.
And then what was the other game? There's some good games on Monday. You guys play Monday at 10.
No, Newcastle Saturday.
Oh no, that's not Monday. I'm sorry. I don't have my glasses on. That's a match day.
Yeah.
No,
Sorry,
I think
we're
you
old.
guys, right, dude, so old. I think for starters, why are Man City taking a break?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, no, they got Burnley. It's technically a break. Though
That's
that
what,
might
that's
be
what I was getting at.
might be one of those games where they actually get your 7 goal tally that you've been promising for
Right.
weeks now.
I think if it's gonna happen, our boy, is that Joe Hart? Joe
Yes.
Hart over there?
Yeah.
Our boy Joe Hart won't let us down.
Yeah.
I think, if you were a betting man, that would be the blowout of the weekend.
Yeah.
But because I called it, it'll end up being like a 1-0.
Yeah.
Liverpool Huddersfield again. James Milner's out until like mid-November.
Yeah.
Mo Salah is kind of on a scoring hiatus. I think he is overrated anyway.
Yeah.
And Mane is probably not going to get all the minutes because of the Champions League coming up.
Yeah.
I think that is going to be our little surprise this weekend. I think it's going to be the Liverpool game. International break really screws with teams.
Yeah, it really does. I feel like if you had any momentum, like, I don't know how it's going to fare for Man United. I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like, do you get rusty or do you get rested? And Man United, after coming off such an emotional win, almost needed to play another game this past weekend, to keep that going and everything. And instead, they've just had a lot of rumors flying around. I saw stuff about like Zlatan could be coming back. You've obviously got all the talk about Mourinho, and the only thing to talk about is his little spat that happened in the tunnel during Newcastle. So to keep the positive news going, to keep the positive energy going through the team, you almost needed another game. But for some of these teams like Newcastle and Huddersfield, it is a weekend to sort of step back, take a look at things. What are we doing wrong? What can we do going forward as well? So it helps and hinders in different ways. But I think that Man United, they're going to come out strong against Chelsea. They know that this is one of those games, and it's a derby almost for Jose Mourinho. A return to Chelsea. He's kind of got to prove a point for himself. Yeah, and he's got a chip on his shoulder. He's got things to do there. So and then Liverpool, Huddersfield. I don't know. I can't. As a Newcastle fan, I hope Huddersfield loses because they're the team above us. But I think that Liverpool will be just fine. It is interesting that Salah just really still hasn't gotten off his feet. I still think that we need to call for like a 3-game rest for him. He needs more than an international break. He needs he scored like an amazing goal for Egypt over the break though. But doesn't matter if you're a Liverpool fan. It doesn't do anything for you. You want to see him out there scoring in a red shirt, not in the white of Egypt.
Right, and then he's going to come back and be like, "Oh, look, I'm in good form." Nope.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, is like with a matchup like they have this weekend, it is an opportunity for them to put away. You know what I mean? It's a great opportunity for players like him to come in and break the seal. And if he does, maybe that's a different conversation for us.
Yeah, for sure. And then you've got, coming up in the Champions League, some really, really good games there. You've got Man United going to Juventus. But, anytime Ronaldo is playing against Man United, that's always like an emotional game. It's one that everybody wants to watch as well. Some of the other English teams, you got Man City playing Shakhtar Donetsk, Tottenham versus PSV Eindhoven, as well as Liverpool against Red Star Belgrade. So Liverpool, really, honestly, if you're looking at it, they've got two winnable games, we'll call it that, and two games that they can maybe play a little bit around with their lineup. So if they got any niggling injuries or anything like that, they can sort of peter those out throughout the week. Another good game will be Barcelona, Inter Milan, Dortmund, Atletico Madrid, because I don't know, we didn't talk about it, but Bayern Munich. I mean, they're sitting down in like fifth place in the Bundesliga, which is insane because they were, I mean, top favorites for everything. You know what I mean? And then Real
Right.
Madrid, they're playing small teams, so they're not doing well either. I don't think they've scored in like 400 minutes or something ridiculous like that. It's like the Ronaldo effect. So it'll be interesting to see all these games this week.
Yeah, I did also hear that what's his name? Liverpool's Salah did pick up a knock.
Yeah,
I think he's having muscle issues, but I think that might affect him a little bit too.
yeah,
Do you think if you think City are going to play Aguero?
yeah, for sure. I think
Yeah.
they have to. I think after denying him the game-winning goal against Newcastle, or not Newcastle, against Chelsea, right? Against Chelsea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It
yeah, yeah,
was
yeah.
against Chelsea.
Yeah, against Chelsea. Then, or no, it was against Liverpool with the penalty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
with
cut
you.
that bit out.
So I
It
just
was,
think, yeah, I don't know what happened there. I think I had a stroke.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I think you also have to play him because you got a big week coming up, and it's an opportunity to kind of get the juices flowing as a
yeah.
team before going into the Champions League.
Do you think they drink
Um,
orange juice?
what did you say?
Do you think they drink orange juice? What
I
do you
don't know,
think? What
man.
do you think the juice of choice is at Man City?
There's definitely squash.
Yeah,
Disgusting squash.
yeah. Hot
So for
Ribena.
those of you that don't know, squash is like basically in England they have this for whatever reason they give you like concentrate.
Yeah.
Would you call it concentrate?
No, it is. It's
A-
concentrated orange juice. So
And it's just horrible. It is the worst thing I've drank every time I have it.
yeah.
But the blackberry one's not bad. So I think they're drinking squash. They definitely have oranges and tea at halftime.
Uh,
All right.
I just saw this. It's kind of bad. Loris Karius, the guy who led in two goals during the Champions League final for Liverpool, he was shipped over to Besiktas over in Turkey, and he's been dropped by them. So just not good. Not good for him. Something that is good though. Let's talk about Usain Bolt. This guy scores two goals in some sort of friendly match for the Central Coast Mariners over in Australia. Now he thinks he's so good, he's denying contracts all over the world. He just got one from Valletta, which is in Malta, a little island, and he was like, no, 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 I'm too good.
I love that. That is the most. That's fire.
Yeah,
And I think he needs to do that more often. I think there's so Usain Bolt basically was like, I've scored two goals now. I know my worth.
yeah,
No, I'm not going to some island in Spain. That is an absolute terrible move by Malta. They're definitely like, hey, we saw that you can sell tickets.
yeah,
We need money, and we're probably not going to play you. I think it was a good decision by Usain Bolt.
yeah.
Usain Bolt's goals, man, he looks fast. He looks so fast.
Look, he looks like he could be an Olympic sprinter. I don't
I know.
know.
If it doesn't work out for him, he could definitely go into track and field.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I think Usain Bolt's good. I think you know what I mean. I think he's in a good place. Like I think that league is going to work out for him.
yeah,
The second goal was ugly. It was chippy.
yeah,
He's still not on a full contract with them, but I think that'll come. I think
yeah,
he's going to make enough money, but I also think he's going to be doing well enough for them to like earn his way into that team. So that's super exciting to see pan out. And like that club is absolutely like bursting at the seams with like marketing right now. They're like,
Oh yeah, I mean,
We
I
have so
I
much
had no
attention.
idea who the Central Coast Mariners were. I knew that there was like I think there's another Newcastle over in the A League,
There is.
and then I know there was I think like Dwight York or somebody went over there one year to play like when he was old. So but you never hear anything about it, and now all of a sudden it's like yeah, I follow their Twitter and their Facebook and everything. Like I'm a big Central Coast Mariners fan, and they're like the best thing is they're not the best team in the A League either. So whoever is like Sydney or somebody, I'm sure is like, what the hell, guys? Like we
Guys, we've
like
been trying really hard over here.
right. But I gather that Usain Bolt, I guess it sounds like it's a little bit like how the MLS was. It still kind of is when it first started. They sort of are the governing body over all the contracts for the players, so they have to work out how much they can pay Usain Bolt, especially because he's going to be such a marketable name for them. They're going to have to obviously pony up a little bit more than probably usual. So I think they're working that out, but I can't see why they wouldn't. I mean, he scored 2 goals for them. That's amazing.
I'm, I just want to point out that in the last 2 weeks,
Yeah,
Usain Bolt has more goals than Mo Salah.
that is true. Yeah, Liverpool, where you at?
Hey, did you see England?
I
England the other
did.
day?
Yeah, against
Classic
Spain.
England are like, hey, this game is really not important.
Yeah.
We're going to play the best football of our lives. Sterling scores the best goal. They had like the best build up to a goal ever.
Yeah.
Like classic English keep away.
Yeah.
And then, the game's over and I'm just sitting there like, oh, this doesn't matter
Yeah.
at all.
Come on,
Like,
man. It's Nations
you know,
Leagues. You got to get pumped for that.
no one cares about the
Nobody
Nations
cares.
League, man.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
But
I
I
wonder
mean, it was
if
good to see, I mean, after, I don't know if you saw the game, the other international game they played. They played against Croatia, which, of course, was a rematch of the semifinal. And it was, for some reason, Croatia had been sanctioned to a point where they weren't allowed fans in the stadium. So it was the most boring game to watch. Like, there's no energy in the stadium. There's no ebb and flow with the fans or anything like that. So it was just god awful, and it was 0-0. But this game against Spain, it came out flying 3-0 in the first half. You had Rashford, Sturridge who scored the other two, and they just look so good. And then, but what's the reward? I've seen like so many articles that were like, this is Gareth Southgate's like statement win and stuff like that. And it's like, well, why didn't he do
Who's
it?
listening?
Yeah, why didn't he
What?
do it against Croatia in the semifinal? That would have been a good statement win.
It's not a statement win at all. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a statement if absolutely no one cares.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Oh God, man! Like I can't even. I'm
yeah,
saying it. I'm gonna say the most basic thing ever. I can't even with them right now. Um, all right, you want to do rapid fire for the last little bit?
yeah, let's do it. All right, so we got, let's take a look at the matches. Let's start off with Chelsea Man United. Who are you picking?
Chelsea,
All right, I'm going with Man United. West Ham Tottenham.
draw.
I'm going Tottenham. Newcastle Brighton.
Brighton.
You. Obviously got to go Newcastle. Bournemouth Southampton.
Bournemouth 4-1.
All right. I'll go with a draw with that one. Cardiff City Fulham.
Draw.
I'll go Fulham 1-0. Wolves Watford.
Draw. They're both W's.
Yes, that's definitely a draw. City Burnley.
Uh, Probably City just edging by like 5 goals.
I'm going Burnley. I'm going to go all out here this weekend. Liverpool Huddersfield.
Liverpool, but I think this is gonna be the upset of the week if there is one.
Okay. I'll go with Liverpool as well. Everton Crystal Palace.
Everton,
I'll do a draw. And then Arsenal Leicester City.
the Gunners.
I'm going to go with a draw with that one too. For a tiebreaker, Chelsea Man United score. Go ahead.
3-1 Chelsea. It's going to be close until like the 80th minute. Chelsea's going to score 2 late in the game. So 3-1 to Chelsea.
I'll go 2-0 Chelsea. Let's do it. All right, so that sounds good. Did you want to talk about, we got a fantasy league starting up?
We do. So Swift Kicks Fantasy League is now going to be hosted through the PremierLeague.com. We'll be sharing the link through Facebook, Twitter. And guys, just a heads up, when you listen to this, if you give us 5 stars and share us, we will give you an imaginary high five. Just saying. Love it.
If that doesn't make you do it, I don't know what will.
And you know what? If you've already left us 5 stars and subscribe to our podcast. You should unsubscribe, delete the app, reinstall the app, subscribe, and then give us 5 more stars. Thank you.
Or just go to any of like the 15 other apps that we're on. We're on Google, Stitcher, Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud. We're gonna be up on YouTube now. So wherever you are, just make sure to like us. We always appreciate it. We always appreciate you listening. Our Twitter is @RealSwiftKicks. Facebook, SwiftKicks Podcast. I think I nailed that one. So we got it.
And also, actually, if you just pause for a second, look around you. Is someone else near you? Take their phone. I don't care if you don't know who they are. Take the phone, go to podcast, find us, subscribe. They will thank you.
Yeah,
You
we
are
know
a
a
hero.
lawyer. You're good.
We do.
Yes.
We have it. The verdict's out on how good he is, but we'll find out soon.
All right, guys. Good talking to you. We'll be back with you next week. See ya.